Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about another one of those cases that I don't know how often these cases have to occur until something changes, but it feels like it's been way too long. It feels like I've been talking about this for a billion years, and granted, it's not going to be me. Unlikely. It's not going to be me who's going to change everything. But damn, I'm surprised that we're still kind of in exactly the same point that we were like a decade ago with this. So if you were having a good day, consider it over. I wasn't even looking for what to film on. This one article pops up about a teacher and student quote unquote relationship. And if you've been on this channel, you already know where we're going with this because it is the same shit over and over and over. Female teacher, male students, we all know how this goes. No one gives a fuck about minors if they're young men and they're having some kind of sexual relationship, if you want to call it that, with their teacher. There are two articles that I'm going to be using. They'll both be linked down below. DA drops all but one charge against pregnant teacher, 41, accused of affair with 15-year-old boy. Married educator still faces 15 years in prison. So the only good thing happening here is potentially the 15 years in prison. I don't want to get stuck on this because we always have the same conversation, but calling it an affair, it's not an affair if someone can't consent. I'm gonna leave that there, but I'm pissed. Most charges filed against a pregnant Florida teacher accused of having sex with a 15-year-old student, it's not sex, but I digress, who denied ever being raped were dropped today by the Miami-Dade Attorney General's office. On Tuesday, the state of Florida only filed one charge against Harry Calvi, 41, at her arraignment, dropping 7 out of 8 formal charges, including one for lewd and lascivious battery. Now, it already sounds bad that they're dropping 7 out of 8 formal charges, and you'll see why it actually is bad, because there's one specific charge being dropped that, in my opinion, kind of fucks everything up. All for this woman going to prison, we'll get there, but the charges being dropped immediately was a red flag to me. She's technically not a pedophile, she's technically an ephebophile, which is different, but also still an issue because we're talking about the age of consent. 15 is not the age of consent in Florida. So also the other important thing to count into this is that the 15-year-old said that they weren't being raped, which I guess we also have to make some kind of differentiation between them also wanting to engage, so it wasn't like a forceful interaction, if we want to call it that. But still, the age of consent is the age of consent, so I'm just gonna leave that there. I also would hope that a teacher of all people would know where to put those types of boundaries. Also because, you know, the law, but also general moral boundaries, and yet here we are. I have to also question, if you don't have these types of moral boundaries, why are you putting yourself in a situation where it very well could occur that you come in contact with a 15-year-old that you're attracted to? Like, why are you putting yourself in a position where you work with people that you could be attracted to if you have this particular philia, which I think this person has? Calvi is now facing only one felony of unlawful soliciting or engaging in sexual conduct and or a relationship of romantic nature, according to court documents. The investigation began in March, and Calvi was arrested in October after school staff members reported that a 15-year-old student was showing classmates phone video of him having sex with an adult woman. Police said Calvi was the teen's former teacher at John I. Smith K-8 Central in Doral. I don't want to go too far into any theories, but this teacher was already teaching the same student when they were younger even. Am I the only one who's particularly creeped out by that? Like, when did you start looking at this child inappropriately? Is it all a coincidence? I'm just saying that's bizarre to me, but okay. At first, the teen told police she was only his teacher, but when more evidence, including text messages between the boy and Calvi, were found on his phone, he admitted they had sex. The teen, however, told police he was not a victim and that he was not raped. The charges against Miss Calvi, this entire investigation, have been entirely based on junior high school rumors, her attorney, Orlando Rodriguez, said Tuesday. Let's also rewind a second. There's footage of this kid, underlining, kid having quote unquote sex without consent, let's call it that, with his teacher. So if his teacher even has this footage, which it doesn't seem like she does, would that not be CP? Would she not have child pornography on her phone? For anyone saying that this is okay, consider this. If she had nudes of his, it would be CP on her phone. So I would love to hear the justification for that. I feel like I always have to find really, really grim ways of explaining why this isn't okay, because the number of people who try to still disagree on this point, insane. Also, I know that this person is her attorney, but the fact that her attorney is saying that it's all based on high school rumors, was the footage of them having sex on the kid's phone or not? Is that a rumor? The decision means Calvi will no longer face the possibility of becoming a registered sex offender. It also decreases her prison sentence, although the crime committed is a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison. And this is why I was saying dropping some of the charges has me fucked up, because if there's anything I would want to hold on to, out of anything, it's becoming a registered sex offender. Because realistically, that's probably what's going to limit her the most, aside from prison. Like when you're out of prison, where you can live, where you can work, all of that is going to be limited. Granted, you know, you can dodge some of it, I guess, but still there's a lot more control over your life in terms of who you can associate with or not. Considering I view a 41-year-old who is attracted to 15-year-olds and acts upon it as a predator, being a registered sex offender, number one thing I'd want, personally. But that was dropped, which I think is a massive mistake. Prosecutor Jacob Castaneda of the Sexual Battery Unit said the decision to drop all counts except one was made based on the conversation with the victim, according to the state attorney's office. Rodriguez praised the judicial system, also mentioning that he previously denied his client did anything wrong. He went as far as saying that the teen denied having sex with his teacher to police since day one. Again, I have no idea what actually happened behind closed doors. Are we also forgetting about the existence of grooming? Do we really think it's difficult that a 41-year-old might have manipulated a 15-year-old into, I don't know, not saying anything, or, you know, manipulating even their view on quote-unquote consent, even though we've already established that consent can't really happen here. So the allegations against Miss Calvi were based on middle school rumors. This is why it is so important to let the process play out before a person is crucified in the media, defense lawyer Orlando Rodriguez said. Thankfully, before former charges are filed, our legal system provides a process in which a prosecutor reviews the evidence and interviews the witnesses. Rodriguez said the retractment of charges show Calvi has already been vindicated, and he expected the last charge will ultimately be dismissed as well. I feel like I'm missing something here. Or you know, like maybe her lawyer is so delusional, and granted, I think you do have to find either someone very delusional or very money hungry or morally bankrupt. Actually, it's a long list. A long list of people would defend someone who is into minors. But anyway, if there's footage on the kid's phone of them having sex, like I really don't know why people wouldn't be outraged or why it would be misplaced outrage. The kid's 15, the age of consent's 18 in Florida. What more do we really need to talk about here? Unless now we're just not giving a fuck about the age of consent, in which case we have a lot bigger problems coming our way. The way this lawyer is reacting just shows how little they have to defend themselves with, because to say that she's already vindicated when there's allegedly footage, like, are you on planet Earth right now? And also, all these middle school rumors, I mean, what are the rumors? What hasn't been proved to be true? The victim himself said they had sex. So like, and it's not having sex. What are these rumors? Like, it seems like a lot of it is true. I'm confused. Calvi was released from jail on Saturday on bond 2 days after her arrest. She was also accused of sending the teen explicit photos over WhatsApp, and he showed them to other kids, which prompted a police investigation. Police say Calvi also gave the boy one of her credit cards and that the pair attended parties together, but told other guests they were aunt and nephew. So this is the person who's been vindicated? Can someone explain? Calvi's married and is expecting her husband's child after rumors that she was carrying the teenage boy's baby. She revealed her condition to prison guards when she was initially booked into jail in October, according to CBS Miami. When police first became aware of the allegations in March, and Calvi was put on administrative duties where she had no contact with students. Hold your horses. Calvi had been previously charged with lewd and lascivious battery, electronic transmission harmful to minors, unlawful use of a communications device, child neglect, offenses against students by authority figures, contributing to delinquency, and possession of a firearm on school property. So this is the person you want to really give a benefit of the doubt to, huh? Again, you guys know I don't like playing the gender reversal game, but I really gotta say, if a man were pulling all of this shit, I really don't feel like there would be this whole pushback against outrage. You're supposed to be outraged by this. This is not okay. And feeling outrage, I think, is a sign that you still are connected to planet Earth. The fact that this teacher already had all of these problems, these charges, like what? Why was she even still employed? Like what are these schools doing? She tried to cover her face as she left the jail with a bump on her stomach during her last public appearance in October after posting bond. It's really interesting because I feel like there was a time when, and there's still a lot of that, certain people, especially in different areas of politics, are very quick to call things, as we've seen, satanic and pedophilic. And though I do think pedophilia is extremely prevalent, as we well know, I also don't think we should go around calling anything that we find weird or even immoral. You can't just say everything's to do with pedophilia or Satan. But when I see cases like this, I'm like, it's so blatantly just disgusting and actually criminal behavior against minors. And I'm like, where are the people screaming about pedophilia day and night? Where are you when all this stuff is happening? I just feel like we have these two extremes of saying nothing's pedophilia and everything's consensual, even though the age of consent here, we don't know her. And then there are people who say that everything's pedophilia. And I'm like, where are the people that are just seeing things in the middle? But I digress. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.